I mean, Coco Chanel said it herself, right? Work hard and shop harder. Hi everyone, Saki here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I get asked about so often. It's literally my most asked question, and that is how I afford luxury. So I was a little bit hesitant to do this video just because talking about finances online and to strangers is a very big deal, and I feel kind of insecure about it, but I thought I still would do this video because I actually came up with a couple of things that I did want to mention in case anyone is just curious about how I afford luxury or if they are wanting some tips for themselves. So if you're into anything luxury and you like this kind of thing, please stay tuned, and please also subscribe to my channel because I do upload videos just like this every single week. So the first thing that I want to talk about is something very obvious, but I feel like when you click on these kind of videos, you are looking for some sort of, like, I don't know, magic trick or maybe some fast way to get money, and I'm here to tell you that I don't think that there's any such thing. The number one thing that I can recommend is hard work. Like I said, I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true. In case you didn't know, I am a restaurant owner by day, and I really only do YouTube on the side. If you guys have ever worked in a restaurant environment, you know that it's very straining and time consuming, and being an owner is even worse than that because you are taking on a lot of responsibility, and I am at this place like, I don't know, 60-70 hours a week. I can't even count sometimes because I'm just always there, and I only get one day off, so pretty much it just boils down to hard work. I mean, Coco Chanel said it herself, right? Work hard and shop harder. And that is truly a motto that I live by. I did used to get like really depressed about how much I had to work and stuff like that, but honestly now I'm just realizing that that is just life. It is just part of being an adult. You have to work your butt off if you want to, you know, get money to buy things or get money to really just live. So yeah, that is definitely the number one thing that I have to say. I mean, there's just really no way around it, guys. So maybe if you are in your early 20s or you're just starting out and you haven't learned this lesson yet, I am here to tell you that you just gotta get a job and you got to work very hard. Alright, now that that obvious point is over, let's talk about some other things. So the second thing that I can recommend is maybe a side hustle. So I think a lot of people have been using this word recently, and what I mean by side hustle is just like something on the side to make you a little bit of extra cash. For example, I do YouTube and I get a little bit of money from that. I also like to do blogging and like fashion related things, and I do get a little bit of money from that each month. It's not a whole lot of money. It's literally just like pocket change and stuff that I can put towards luxury items and other stuff that I want to spend my money on, but I do think that it's worth it to have just something that you can do for fun and that you can make money with as well. Some other things that I can think of on the top of my head is maybe like if you are in a position to do like Uber or Lyft or maybe food deliveries. There are so many things that you can do right now for side hustles that you really don't have to have any skill at. Or if you are someone like me who loves to talk about things that they love and likes to do a little bit of creativity, maybe you want to try YouTube or maybe you want to start a blog. I'm not sure, there's a lot of different options out there. I'm pretty sure if you just Google like side hustles, you can find a lot of different ideas out there and see how other people are making money. So I definitely recommend this if you have time and if you would like to do something that you enjoy and also make money at the same time. Alright, the next thing kind of has to do with saving money. So I highly recommend, like with every single paycheck, maybe save a little bit of money or put a little bit of money aside every time you get some just to put into like a fund. I think this comes from me just being like really obsessed with like buying handbags and stuff, but I do like to put a little bit of money each time that I do get money into a little savings to just spend on luxury. I definitely make sure that I always have money like enough to pay my bills and everything first, and then any money that I have left over I can choose to save or spend. And I do always just try to save a little bit just in case, you know, the perfect purse comes along or something. I do have a little bit of like a fund already saved for that, if that makes sense. So I highly recommend doing this. I also recommend that you take that money out of either your account or piggy bank or whatever and put it in a separate place so that you can kind of see it grow. If you just kind of leave it in your bank account, it seems like it takes forever to see your money actually growing. So I do recommend putting it in a savings account or maybe even taking it out and putting it in a physical place. The next thing that I want to talk about is actually buying secondhand. This is actually one of the reasons why I can afford luxury, and that is because I buy most of my items secondhand. I've only bought in store maybe a handful of times and I do enjoy it, but I enjoy saving money more, so I do really like to buy secondhand. I have a ton of videos now about like my experiences buying secondhand, and I also have a whole entire video about where I like to shop and how I get my items authenticated, so I will leave that down below for you as well. But buying secondhand is such a great way to save money, because you can oftentimes buy luxury for, you know, 50% of the price, 60%, 70% of the price. As long as you're getting a little discount, I think that's worth it. Obviously, there are a lot of cons to buying pre-loved, but I do think that the money saving aspect of it is worth it. And if you're just careful and you make sure you do your research on the item, it can be very safe. I do highly recommend buying pre-loved because you can save so much money. Alright, the next thing that I want to talk about is actually categorizing and prioritizing your spending. So what I mean by this is that if you are looking to, you know, save a little bit of money each month, you have to kind of like analyze your spendings a little bit. Now, I am no expert at this. I just want to throw that out there, but I can tell you from experience that it is so worth it to like prioritize your expenses. So for example, in my case, I never really spend money on food. Since I own a restaurant, I don't buy any food like for myself for home. I always just bring food from the restaurant home to eat or just eat there. So pretty much groceries for me and like restaurant spending is non-existent. We do go out to eat, but it's not very often, and at most it's maybe once a week. So I definitely think that we cut down on those kind of expenses a lot. We also really like to find like Groupons and stuff whenever we do like go to restaurants, because it is a great way to save money in that area. Another thing that I think is really important to talk about is like minimizing your expenses when it comes to fast fashion. If you are interested in luxury fashion, I think it is a good idea to maybe slow down on buying clothes that, you know, won't last very long and aren't very good quality. I am a victim of this. I love fast fashion. I just think it's so easy just to go to like Forever 21 or to buy stuff on Shein. I mean, if you watch my channel, you know that I buy a lot of stuff from there, but I am trying to like minimize it now a little bit more. It used to be really bad. Like I used to actually manage a restaurant in downtown, and on the way from my parking space to the restaurant, I would always pass like Forever 21 and just buy like $100 worth of clothing right before I went into work, and it was really bad because my clothing just added up, and it ended up being stuff that I had to throw away after a couple of times because the quality was so bad. So you definitely want to focus on better quality items that you buy less frequently, if that makes sense. So I just do recommend you doing this. It's kind of a habit that you have to actively try to break, but once you do, I do think that it'll be worth it. Another thing that I think is very common in the luxury community is actually to sell the stuff that you're not using or not in love with anymore. So I do this very frequently. I have a whole video about like some of the handbags I've sold and why I've sold them, but basically I feel like if you are not using an item and it's just sitting on your shelf, you really should get rid of it, because one, it's not bringing you any happiness, and two, it's not serving like any function, just being there unused. So I highly recommend that you do this. I mean, I sell on a lot of different places. I like to sell to Fashion File or Yugi's Closet if I need like quick cash and they quote me at a reasonable price, or more recently I've just been selling on Instagram through PayPal invoice. It's a little bit sketchier, and I feel like you really should be careful also choosing your buyer, but so far I've just had really good experiences. Another way that I've sold bags is through eBay. eBay takes like a percentage of your sales, so I do recommend like calculating that into your price as well when you are thinking about selling bags. But that is also another great and safe way to sell. And let me think if I have sold any other ways. Oh, on Depop. I usually just sell my clothes on Depop, but I also think that Depop is a really great way to make money if you are looking to sell things like clothes. They do take 10%, which I think is kind of high, and plus like PayPal fees. So I would only recommend like selling clothes or like cheaper items on there, but I sell like everything that I don't use, like wallets, clothes, bags, shoes, even planner supplies that I don't use anymore. I'd like to sell because why not? It's better than just throwing them away and making no money at all, right? And then obviously I can use that money to save to fund another item that I want to buy. Alright, the last thing that I want to talk about I think is a very controversial, but I do want to talk about credit cards, because let's be honest, I feel like if you live in this world, it's really hard to avoid using and getting credit cards. I know especially in America, we are more of a credit card culture than we are like cash or debit or anything. So it is a very fragile rabbit hole that you could fall down in, but I do think that credit cards have their advantage if you use them correctly and wisely. And be careful. Like, I cannot stress that enough. So what I want to talk about specifically about credit cards is how you can avoid paying interest and just pay items off over time. So the number one thing that I can recommend is PayPal credit. PayPal credit is so amazing. They always have these offers where if you buy like over $100, you can pay no interest financing for over 6 months. And then if you buy off of eBay, and you buy something that's over $600, you can potentially, like based on your credit and stuff, finance things for 12 months with no interest. And I think this is great because there's really no difference between taking these offers and just paying straight cash, other than you have, you know, a longer amount of time to pay them off. If you're not paying any interest, why not take advantage of these offers? Now, like I said, you kind of have to be wary about this a little bit, because if you are used to just buying things off credit, you can fall down a rabbit hole very, very fast. But what I like to do, and my rule, is that if I am paying something off with like PayPal credit or whatever, I wait until I pay that entire thing off until I start a new one. So if I'm not able to afford something like straight up like right away, I do like to do this option. For example, if you see like a unicorn bag that you just must have, and you know that it's not going to come back like anytime soon, I highly recommend this option because it is great to just buy something very quickly, and then you also get like a longer period of time to pay it off. So why not, right? And like I said, just be careful when doing this. Make sure that you're not doing it too often, and always make sure to make your payments on time, because I do know that if you like go over the 6-month period or whatever like financing option you pick, they charge the interest at the end, and it can be a lot if you're not careful. So I mean, I would only do this if you're able to control yourself and manage your money very wisely, and you know that you can stay safe while doing this. One thing that I do want to also quickly touch on about credit cards is that I actually do use credit cards to make all of my purchases, even if I do have like cash in the bank for them, because I like to get points. So the credit cards that I use specifically are the Barclay card Arrival Plus MasterCard, which helps you collect travel points, and I also really like the Bank of America like cash rewards card, because you get cash back for every single purchase you make. I think it's like 1.5 to 2 times cash back depending on like what you purchase. But these are so great, because if you do like buy something on your credit card and then pay it off right away, you still get those points, and those points can be used as like cash or whatever, and they add up over time. I think with my Bank of America card, the cash adds up so quickly, and every couple of months I notice that I have like a $100 voucher or a $200 voucher, and that really helps if you like to shop, because you can apply that cash on literally everything and make a little bit of extra money just by spending money, which is crazy. So yeah, a very good idea if you are into credit cards. But like I said, I mean, just be careful and be smart. Like, pay your credit cards off on time, do your research, and don't fall down a rabbit hole. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers just never ever talk about credit cards, and realistically I just feel like it's impossible not to use them. So that is just my little advice on that, in case you were curious about credit cards and how I use them. Alright, that was all for my video. I hope that you found it informative, and I hope that I explained myself clear enough. If you have any more specific questions, please let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to answer them and help you out if you are interested in like other money saving tips. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do upload videos every single week. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!